All right, joined now by Nick Friar. There's no baseball tonight, so we're setting the table for the second half, and that, of course, starts Friday night at the Red Sox, Yankees, 3.5 game spread between the two. Is this a big series?
Yeah, absolutely. It's more so for the Yankees than anybody else, though, because the Yankees are actually struggling of late. They have something to prove right now, and if they don't win this series, they could be on their way out of being in contention for the division, and that would leave the Red Sox no contenders at this point.
All right. Back in the first half, what was encouraging for the Red Sox that'll translate going forward? What was maybe discouraging that they need to work on?
I think encouraging, I would say Drew Pomeranz, actually, because he really turned around after that issue with John Farrell. He's starting Friday night. Hopefully he can pick up where he left off. So that's promising. Now, the bullpen overperformed in the first half, but at the same time, I'm a little worried about them. We saw some shakiness towards the end. Before the break, they need to get one more guy. I know Carson Smith's supposed to be back soon. Again, I don't buy it, but then again, I was wrong about David Price. He's made over 5 starts. So, but that's the one thing they need is they need to add an arm.
That brings me to my next question, the trading deadline. We know that Dave Dombrowski is very active. He's not afraid to get rid of the farm system for the here and now. Do you expect him to go out there and get a big bullpen arm?
Yeah, he's definitely going to go after somebody. Right now, it's a matter of who and what he's willing to give up. I mean, which goes without saying, I guess. But he's going to go after somebody in third base, too. That's the other thing. He's talking about Martin Prado. Todd Frazier's still a guy that's thrown out there. If he wants one of those guys, he's going to have to give up a pretty penny. And even though, Frazier it doesn't hit well for average. So it's concerning. Hopefully he doesn't give up too much, but we'll see what happens with him.
All right, based on where the Red Sox are right now in the standings, pretty safe bet to say they'll at least get to the playoffs, being that there's 2 wildcard spots. Who in the American League worries you right now? Obviously, Houston has the best record in the league. Other than the Astros, or maybe including the Astros, who's on your radar as a team September, October the Red Sox will have to get past?
I think the Astros 100%. You're right about that one. The Indians are still in it, and look, they're still a very good team. We know what Andrew Miller's capable of, and if you have Corey Kluber and that pitching staff going strong, and you add Miller in, they didn't have those 2 guys last year. They didn't have Carrasco, they didn't have Salazar. So if you have that strong staff going with Miller, they're scary. And look, the Yankees can still make it in the wild card. Just because they're not going to win the division doesn't mean they can't win the wild card. And they are a scary team. They have a lot of pop. We saw the home run derby.
Oh, yeah.
We know that they have a lot of power. And their pitching staff has done, fine for the most part. They've had their bumps and bruises along the way. But all in all, they're still a really good team. It's just the Red Sox are a little bit better right now.
Go back to last night, Rusney Castillo in the AAA All-Star game. Listen, he's making $72 million over the extent of his contract. That's a disappointment because he's in Pawtucket. Is there anything we can take away from Rusney being a AAA All-Star moving forward?
I know we're in Providence and we have to talk about the Pawtucket team, but do you want to talk about Rusney Castillo? Really? It doesn't matter, Yanni. He's not going to come up because the way the rules are with the collective bargaining agreement, he can't come up. Otherwise, he has to stay up and stay part of the 40-man roster. It's not going to happen. Don't worry. We're not going to see Rusney Castillo ever again.
What happens to Pablo Sandoval?
Well, he's going to have to come up at some point. Unfortunately, had he got sent down when Rusney did, then there wouldn't be an issue. But you can't go and hide his contract in the minor leagues anymore. So that's kind of the issue. He's going to have to come back up at some point.
The Panda back in the mix.
Yeah, I know.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Sunday night, are you in Sunday Night Baseball, Sox Yanks?
Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
of course.
Better to book you now than on text on the way home.
You have to do it in front of everybody else, so that way I'm pressured into it.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Nick, so much for joining us, and we'll have much more from the Sports Wrap coming up after this.